Hi guys and girls, I'm Obsidian Ant and welcome back to the Commanders. This is beta patch 2.3 for Elite Dangerous. Today we're going to have a look at something a little bit different. I'm here at the Dweller, who is one of the engineers. He's located in the Weird system and is actually been unlocked with every single module. So it's a good place to come if you want to test things out, and what we want to take a look at is the new surface scanner modifications. Unfortunately, there's no modifications to discovery scanners in the game. Maybe that's something that will come at another time, but for now we're just limited to surface scanners. So the changes here, there's 3 different types. They're listed right here, right near the bottom of all the available modules that we can actually change. Currently I'm unlocked to level 3, but as the engineer here is taking fish, it's going to be very quick to unlock everything else. So have a look here. You can see that this modification is a scan range multiplier. So the first one is for 40, this is plus 80, this is a plus 120, and it goes all the way up to a plus 200 at unlock 5, which will probably take a little while to get to if you haven't got the Dweller unlocked yet. The other modification we can do is a scan angle multiplier, and this allows you to approach a target at a slightly different or sharper angle, wider angle, and you're able to scan it in that way. And the other one is a scan rate multiplier, and what that does is speed up the time it takes to scan the surface. At the moment it takes about 30 seconds, and you can actually get that down quite a bit more. So the first one we're going to test out then is the scan range multiplier. Now I had to run this a few times to get as high as I could to the top 200 mark, and eventually I did get very close. I got to 189, and after enough times I thought that would do it. I couldn't quite get 200, but it was good enough. So I headed out to this particular system here, that's CW Ursa Majoris, and I chose the moon orbiting the 3rd planet here. Now I'll choose the same moon for all of these planets to ensure there's consistency across each of the tests. So at the moment I'm using the default surface scanner, and we'll see at which point the scan starts activating. So it's 16 here, 15 and 14.4 light seconds. That's when the scan activates on the default surface scan for this particular moon. And now we'll have a look at it with the grade 5 modification, and we're going to need to slow down a little bit here, going in a little bit fast, and I suspect it's going to come up any time now. And you can see there 41 light seconds, so that is a huge increase over the default surface scan. That said, it still means you've got to get up fairly close to these moons, but it may be a lot better for some of the larger worlds, Earth-sized and larger. Earth-size you can normally scan around about 100 to 150 light seconds away, so this would make that around about 300 to 400 light seconds away, so quite an improvement. The next modification I want to look at is the scan angle multiplier. This lets you approach the star or the planet you're trying to scan at a slightly wider angle. So let's go with that. We've got almost the top marks there, right near the top, and we'll head on that back to the same moon again. So here we are with the default scan, and what I'm going to do is turn off to the right here, and when the scan stops, that's as far as we can actually go with the default surface scanner. So I'll shift back a little bit there, and you'll see the scan start back up again. That starts up any time now. So you can see that the range of scan here is actually fairly narrow, not very wide at all. So let's compare that to the grade 5 surface scanner. So we'll come back to the same moon again, slightly different distance here, but more or less the same. And well, what we're going to do is see the scan angle here again. Let's see how far we can turn before the scanning actually stops. And already it's vastly wider than the default. It just keeps going. Look at that. Not really sure what sort of purpose this would actually use. I've shifted off a little bit too much there because I didn't want to time out and actually scan the surface of the planet there. But you can see there, this is far wider than the default surface scan. So again, I'm not really sure what sort of purpose this would use, but it would allow you to scan planets on approach without actually directly flying towards them and getting caught in the gravity well. So some people might want to use that. It could have some huge benefits, a lot of time saving, in the sense of you don't have to actually fly back out the gravity well again. So talking of time savings, this one here is the scan rate multiplier, and this will increase the time of the scan. I had to do quite a few rolls here to get well, quite a good roll. Nearly the top roll here, 79.18 out of 80. So that's what I'm going to stick to. And we're going to head out and try this one next. So here we are again, once again using the modified long-range surface scanner. I was a bit too lazy to head back and get the default surface one again for this, but it shouldn't have any effect on the time here. Now, I was always under the impression that it takes 30 seconds to scan a planet, so I've set a scanner going here, I've set a timer going here rather, to time how long this is going to be. It did turn out to be a little bit longer than I was actually expecting, so I went back to test it again, and also tested it on the live servers as well, all to the same time, and I'll show that towards the end of this video just so you can see confirmation that it is slightly longer than 30 seconds. It is in fact 33 seconds, in this case 33.33. So let's try that again, this time with the grade 5 modified detailed surface scanner, and we can see how long it takes on this occasion. Should be a bit quicker. We'll see precisely how much quicker. Now you've got to consider that the amount of time it will take to unlock the grade 5 detailed surface scanner modification. If you've already got that level unlocked with the Dweller, then it's all well and good, do go for it. But if you haven't got it unlocked, and if you have to unlock the Dweller, then, well, it may be a false economy, 18.53 seconds, so you'd be saving 15 seconds on each planet scanned. But you've got to keep in mind how long it will take to unlock that particular modification in the first place. If it's going to take you quite a lot of hours, then it might not be worth the hassle. So do let me know what you think of that one. If you haven't got the Dweller unlocked, is it worth spending all that time to get him unlocked and then get the grade 5 modification unlocked just to save a mere 15 seconds on each planetary scan? Would you really be saving yourself time at the end of the day? So here I am, just testing the default Discovery scanner just to make sure that there was no errors going on with the previous time measurement, because it did come up at 33 seconds and I was expecting it to be 30, and that's probably just because I've never actually timed it before. So there we are, I've already gone past 30 and there we are at 33, so 33.37 in this case. But you do have to take into account the slight frame rate difference between some of these recordings. So when you're talking about 300ths of a second or 400ths of a second, it's not much time at all. So there we have it then, a complete rundown of all of the detailed surface scanner modifications in the current beta. That then brings us to an end of this video. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and girls next time.